thanks everyone for joining me today. I'm happy to present an investment opportunity into CityVest. We're raising $2.5 million, and I think you'll be excited by what we've built. You know, the leading 5 private equity firms manage about $2 trillion, a little bit over $2 trillion. One of the largest, Blackstone, is finalizing the closing on a $20 billion real estate private equity fund. What do these guys know that the rest of the individual investors don't know? What they know is that real estate outperforms all other asset classes with a lower volatility, less risk. But individuals have about 3% of their investment capital in real estate, which is much lower than pension funds, which is about 10%. Tiger 21 members, which are ultra high net worth investors, have about 23% of their asset allocation in real estate. So given the explosion of real estate, why aren't individual investors investing more capital in real estate? Well, real estate deal sponsors typically charge high fees. They're not diversified. They're going deal by deal, and they underperform. Crowdfunders typically have a negative selection and somewhat high fees. REITs underperform private funds with a disappointing 3% dividend. The best asset class, with Blackstone, KKR, Colony, Carlyle, Apollo, all of them know real estate outperforms, but real estate private equity typically has very high multi-million-dollar investment minimum. So it's very hard to access those funds. CityVest is an online real estate investment platform allowing individual investors to invest as little as $25,000 to be able to access institutional real estate private equity funds. You go to our website, you can review multiple transactions. They are all feeder funds where we aggregate the capital, and then that pool of capital, which typically is around $5 million, is invested in an underlying real estate private equity fund. So we provide access to the institutional fund, and we're able to negotiate better terms. So the CityVest Access Fund gets enhanced investment terms because we have this pooled capital of $3 to $6 million. We have unique access to the institutional funds because otherwise, if you didn't have multi-million dollars, you couldn't access those best funds. And we've reduced the risk of that investment by carefully screening funds, making sure that every fund that we invest in is an institutional fund and has an auditor and administrator. The market is huge for accredited investors, 15 million individual accredited investors with $50 trillion of aggregate net worth, investing about $163 billion a year in real estate private equity fund. And as I said early on, currently that's about 3% of their investment allocation. That should be increasing to around 10% over the next 5 years. CityVest is in a sweet spot for investors in that we are targeting institutional real estate funds, that top quadrants. And on the top right side, we make it accessible to individual investors. There are several other real estate online platforms, but none of them offer both institutional funds and making them accessible to individual investors. So we're targeting these 15 million individual investors, offering the best of the annual 700 real estate funds that we're conducting due diligence on. We've now completed 15 access funds or feeder funds, aggregating $60 million in assets under management. And all of our offerings provide us with attractive recurring revenue that's accumulating year to year. We're looking forward to 10 million of aggregate capital, recurring capital, over the next couple of years. We have an extensive team, 150 years of experience, over $3 billion of aggregate acquisitions, investment accounting, and investor servicing experience. And our platform is one of the easiest and most attractive in the industry. We got started a couple of years ago, completed an initial 8 access funds with 23 million of assets under management. Now we're at 15 access funds, 60 million in AUM. We're currently raising $2.5 million. We're looking for that capital to bring us to 2026, where we will have completed 100 access funds and 500 million in assets under management. We expect a 5 to 10x return on our money. We're currently raising a $2.5 million so-called SAFE convertible note. It's a senior promissory note with paying a 12% interest rate over 3 years to maturity. It's a fairly attractive 35% discount to the next round financing with warrant coverage. Look forward to everyone who wants to join our breakout room after this talk. Thank you.